Hey friends, and welcome back to another day of quarantine in my art studio. So today we're going to be doing the classic Create This book. If you haven't seen the first episode that I did of this, I I flipped through the book and showed you all the pages that I've already done, and then we did a page together. Today we're going to be doing a couple pages. If you're wondering what all of this is, I just went through the book and sticky noted all my ideas for some of the pages. We're not doing all of these pages today. We'll probably do like a couple. I don't know. I haven't planned this. I'm just going by the seat of my pants as always. And yeah, you know that we just like wing everything here and we get really messy. That's basically the slogan for this channel. Get messy and wing it. Let's get started. As you can see, my workspace is already super messy and covered in paint. So it's prepared for this project. Usually I'll put like a white poster board on the table just so I have a white background, but all of my poster boards are now covered in paint. So yeah, don't think that's gonna happen today. Okay, so the first thing I have to do is put paper underneath this because it's gonna get super messy. So the page that I wanted to do was create splatter paint here. So what we're gonna do is splatter paint here, but first I'm gonna paint a background, and then we're gonna splatter paint on top of that background. So yeah, I think that I want the background to be this color. Why do I always do that? Why? I don't know. I don't even have a brush out yet. Is it completely dry? Kind of. So I have some washi tape, and I think I'm gonna washi tape like a stripe across so that after we splatter we can pull it off and it'll just be like a blue line that's clean. And I'm just gonna do that like randomly. Yeah. As usual, I don't have a plan. Also, I think it will help tape the page down a little. So that's good. Wait, should I keep going this way or should I go down? This way, down. I think I'm gonna go that way. Hopefully that works and it doesn't like pull up the paint or anything. I think I'm also gonna tape over the prompt because I like seeing the prompts. So I think I want to start with white. Maybe first we can use this brush and be like, whoosh. Alright, next I think I want to do lime green, and this time I'm just going to grab it and I'm just going to sling it really hard. That didn't work like I thought. It worked. It got mainly right there, but it worked. Okay, that's good for green, I think. We're going to have to put Mod Podge on this because some of this is really thick and it's going to be all crusty and try to flake off later when it dries. I want to do this pink, but I don't know if there's enough in the bottle. It's almost gone. I only did that because when it was spewing here, it was like spewing little dots, and so I thought it would do that, but then big chunks came out. So what are we going to do about that? Oh, that doesn't look bad. See, when we wing it, we get fun things that wouldn't happen if you planned it. So let's do like purple. Alright, so this time, I don't know what to do. I kind of like have this urge to just pick it up with my hand and go like that. Like just get it in my hand and then be like, whoosh. But I don't know if it would actually work. But I'm going to try it, I guess. Oh my gosh. It did work. That That is really thick though. That's unnecessarily thick. Nice. Use this brush again because it looks cool and it worked pretty good. Now orange. I want to sling this one like we did the green. Okay, I really like the way that this looks. I think I'm going to do a light blue. I could do white again because you can barely see the white. Let's do white and light blue and then we'll be done. And then I kind of just want to put some like, I don't know. I know that's not splattered, but it's kind of cool, right? Maybe that was a mistake. I don't know. Okay, I think what I want to do is take the blue that's in the background and splatter some of it, especially over those spots that I just created with my fingers. I'm gonna stop before I go too far and it's not cool anymore. So my hands are covered in paint now. I'm gonna wait for this to dry and then we're gonna pull the tape off. It's finally dry. It's been a very long time, which is annoying, but we're here. I'm gonna pull this off first over here to see how it does. Splatter is clean. Create is cleanish. You can still read it, that's the point. I'm kind of scared to pull this part off because I'm scared that the paint's gonna pull up the background, but let's just see what happens, I guess. Well, it's pulling up the background of the white paper, so that's not competent. No, it actually is. No! Stop it. Stop. Okay, we're good. We're good. We're good. Heck yeah, heck yeah, heck yeah. Hey! It doesn't look bad. I hope this side does the same thing. Come on. Okay, it's not pulling any of it up. Yes! Really, 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 really happy with that. Other than this, we can fill that in with paint. But my brain is telling me that I should put a white stripe along that line, so I'm gonna do it. Wait, should I do a white line at the bottom too? I like that a lot. I think that that white line was needed. So now it's done. I do need to wait for the white paint to dry, but it won't take long. And as soon as that's dry, we're going to Mod Podge. Okay, Mod Podge is finally dry, and we're done. So this is the final product. What's next? Also, totally not cleaning this off because it's just gonna get messy again, so no point. I thought it would be fun to, on the Create an Assortments page, I could just like fill every box with like a character. Like SpongeBob, Patrick, like random, and not just do like Disney, like an assortment of different characters. So I think we're gonna do that now. We've decided to do page 21. I went and decided what character is gonna go in each bubble. So here's a little sneak peek for you if you wanna look. I'm gonna keep that sticky note there. And I take out my marker paper because I think I'm going to color the characters with my markers. So I think what I'm going to do is take a piece of marker paper and I'm going to cut out the shapes, and then I'm going to make the character fit in the shape. That was my dog coughing, in case you're wondering what the heck that choking noise was. I'm just going to take this paper and I'm going to cut out these shapes, put the characters that I want on the shapes, and then we're going to glue them in here. Is that a little too complicating? Maybe, but I know that my markers will bleed through on this paper, and I'm not really like down to have it bleeding through on everything, so we're just gonna do it this way. Whenever I was tracing this, I kind of had to put my phone flashlight behind the page and like trace it really lightly. It was complicating and really annoying, but it was the best I could do since it was in a book. Everything, all the shapes traced. They're not perfectly straight on the trace, but it's fine because we're gonna like clean it up and stuff. I just needed the shapes. And if you haven't watched this channel before and you don't know, I use who knows, markers, and they have all of these colors, most colors that we will need. Then I also use microns. I have like a bunch of different sizes, and that's basically all the equipment we're using today, other than this pencil. I decided to do this for Stitch. I know I just recorded that whole thing of me tracing this out, and I didn't realize you couldn't see very good. I decided to do this square for Stitch because his ears and his head I thought were like long ways, and I thought it would be cute to just do that. Okay, so here's the rundown of how we're gonna do this page. There are so many characters, and each one I put so much love and care into sketching it, outlining it, coloring it, and it's just a lot of footage. All of it together was almost 2 whole hours. It took me like 2 hours of footage, but that's not even including what I didn't record. So what we're gonna do is I'm just gonna like talk over a time lapse of like me coloring them in and some outlining, and that way you're not sitting here for over 30 minutes trying to watch and see if I draw your favorite character. So yeah, I started with Stitch, which he is one of my favorite characters. I really love him. All of his like the TV show and the movies are on Disney Plus if you have that and want to watch. He's just one of the most like lovable characters, and he's really fun to draw. The next character that I did was Bubbles from Powerpuff Girls, and I called her Buttercup like a million times until I finally realized that she was Bubbles. Funny story is, like, growing up, I loved Bubbles the most when I was watching Powerpuff Girls, but since I have red hair, I felt like I had to like the redheaded one more. I don't even remember her name. Blossom. I always felt like I had to like Blossom more, but yeah, I totally liked Bubbles more. And then we did Dexter's Laboratory. ZZ. This is definitely an old Cartoon Network cartoon, but I just really wanted to do an assortment of different kinds of cartoons, like Cartoon Network, Disney, Pixar, like all the different ones. So I couldn't not put Dexter in there. And he was actually pretty easy to draw. The next character, of course, is Scooby-Doo. How could we do a tribute to amazing cartoon characters without putting Scooby-Doo in there? He is a classic. He always gets remade. There's always a new kind of cartoon out for him, and he's fun to draw. I know his proportions of his face are a little off, but you know who he is, and that's the most important part. And matching his colors and stuff were easy because he's just got like basic browns and teals and stuff, and I think he turned out really cute, and I'm super proud of him. And I think the purple background definitely makes him pop. The next character that I did, and I chose him for this shape literally just because he was long and skinny and the box was long and skinny, and when I was thinking of characters that were kind of that shape, he was the first one that popped in my head. This is Fear from Inside Out. Inside Out's an amazing movie. By the way, if you haven't seen it, you should definitely check it out. It's a Pixar film. It's on Disney Plus. You should check it out. It's really good. And in my head, I feel like Fear controls me the most, so I just really like this character. The next one I did was Tweety Bird because she was the smallest character I could think of, and this square was like super tiny, and so I thought that I needed a super tiny character to fit inside of it, and Tweety Bird was definitely the first one. And at first I thought she looked horrible, but I kind of think she looks okay now that I'm looking at her and staring at her. I think she turned out alright. Her proportions aren't perfect, but she's still cute. The next one I did was A Bug's Life. This is the most underrated Pixar movie ever. It's literally in my top 3 favorite Pixar movies, and I feel like no one ever talks about it or raves about it, and it's amazing. Like, it's really an amazing show. So if you haven't seen it, highly recommend. It's also on Disney Plus. I don't know why I keep talking about Disney Plus, but because that's basically what all I've been watching in quarantine is Disney Plus. So, but this is a character from A Bug's Life. He is a beautiful butterfly. He's so cute. It definitely, the proportions are a little off. His face is a little weird, but I feel like if you know the movie and you know the character, you know exactly who he is. So I'm still like kind of proud of it, but he doesn't look perfect. The next character is SpongeBob. SpongeBob was always fun to draw. He was always one of those cartoons that were always on TV when I was growing up. Like, no matter what, there was an episode of SpongeBob on, and I was obsessed with it when I was little. I almost paid this girl to paint me some shoes in high school that had SpongeBob on one shoe and Patrick on the other, but then I never got them. Hey, that's a good video idea. I could, like, record myself making the shoes that I never got, that I should have gotten in high school. I love that idea. Comment down below if you think I should make those for a video. But yeah, I mean, SpongeBob's classic. I'm sure we've all seen it. I'm sure we all love it. He's actually really fun to draw and pretty easy to draw too. And these markers were perfect because some of the characters look a little off just because the color palette was off. But with SpongeBob, I was able to match his colors perfectly. And I think between him and Stitch, they turned out great. Like, SpongeBob looks exactly who he's supposed to look like. Like, it's perfect. I'm super proud of how his turned out. The next one is Cajun. It is the little lightning bug from Princess and the Frog. I feel like no one ever talks about him either, but he's a great sidekick in a Disney film. And I couldn't draw him without drawing that little star. And of course I thought of him because the square was so small, and I was like, well, who would fit in that? And he came to mind. And I couldn't draw him without giving him his star, so I love him. The next one that I drew was Mushu from Mulan, another character that I thought of when I thought of a long skinny box. I was like, who would fit in this? And Mushu came to mind, and he was actually one of the harder ones to draw and took a lot more attention and detail, but I think that it still looks like him. It's definitely not perfect. I'm definitely not like a Disney illustrator or anything like that, but I don't think it looks bad. I think if you saw it, you would know who it was, and that's like the important part, and I had fun, so it's okay. I can be really hard on myself sometimes, but I try to remind myself that if I'm having fun, that's like the most important thing, and that it's okay. So yeah, I think that after I like gave him some heavy outlines and stuff, he turned out pretty good. You can see Hello Kitty, but I lost the footage somehow of that. The next one that I did was the mice from Cinderella. I don't remember their names. I just remember them going, Cinderella, Cinderella, and like making her outfit and stuff, which is super cute. I should rewatch those. Definitely should rewatch those Cinderella movies in quarantine. I don't know why I haven't yet. It's been a really long time, but they're so cute, and I really wanted to draw them. The thing is, on the like the chubbier mouse, I kind of messed his eye up, and on the skinnier mouse, I wish I knew their names so I didn't have to say that, but anyways, I messed his eye up, so he looks a little funky, but other than that, I think they turned out pretty cute. So the next one that I drew was Wanda. I'm testing out some pink color palettes on the side because I wasn't sure which one would really match her color palette, and this was the closest one I had, but it's definitely off. It's a little bit more hot pink than the colors of her hair and like her color palette, but it was the closest I had, and I feel like it worked out okay. The more I outlined her, the like worse it got, and I started getting really nervous about it not looking like her, but I think at the end of the day, you can definitely tell who it is, and I didn't do it as bad of a job as I thought I did at first, so I'm pretty proud of this one too. And then last but not least is Tom and Jerry. I'm pretty sure the mouse is Jerry and the cat is Tom. If I'm wrong about that, definitely let me know down below, but I'm like pretty positive. Jerry looks crazy. He looks a little cracked out. He looks like he has like eyeliner from the night before on, and he just looks crazy. But I think Tom turned out pretty cute. The cat looks exactly like the character, or at least what I think the character should look like, so I'm pretty proud of how he turned out, but the mouse looks a little crazy. and then I just start cutting them out. And I drew over when I was doing the background color, I colored over it a little bit just so I would have extra room to cut, just in case I didn't trace it right or whatever. I would just have room to cut it out. And yeah, so I just cut it out and I glue each one in, and seeing them all laid out makes me super happy. I'm really glad that I was able to get each one. I know it would probably be simpler to just draw them into the boxes and stuff, but I'm scared to bleed through the pages with my markers and mess up another page that I don't have a plan for yet. So I always just play it safe and glue stuff in. But I definitely didn't cut all of the squares and stuff super straight. Like, I'm just a really messy person, and I just didn't take the time to really cut them exactly perfect and fit them in the squares perfectly, but I got it pretty close. Alright, and that is how the page turned out. I actually really like seeing them all laid out like this versus like on that piece of paper. I think that looks really good. The ones that I think turned out the best are tied for SpongeBob and Stitch. I think they turned out the best and look the most like their characters. The ones that turned out the worst to me is either the Powerpuff Girl, and then Homeboy right here would look okay if his eye was fixed. I just colored in a little bit too much black, so like he's okay, but Jerry or Tom, I think the mouse is Jerry, looks crazy. So the Powerpuff Girl and Jerry be looking crazy. I know that I talked about not liking this one, but seeing it all together, it doesn't look that bad compared to her. I don't know. My husband said that she doesn't look any different, but to me she does. So anyways, comment down below on this spread what your favorite and least favorites were. And if you're wondering, this is pages 20 and 21. Alright, that's going to be it for this video. If you liked what I did today, make sure you subscribe because I'll definitely be doing more of these. I post videos every single Saturday and sometimes on Wednesdays. Comment down below which page you liked the most, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye! Falling. Oh, I fought so hard for you.